Right, I'm John Morrissey. I was born in 1946. We moved to Belper in 1956, my father having become Deputy Medical Officer for Belper and Ashbourne Rural District Councils. He'd lived for 3 years before in Allestree. I went to school for 2 years in Long Row, then went on to Strutt School, where we are now. I went to university in 1965. Rather to my surprise, I came back to Belper in 1973 to work in general practice. Never expected that at all. So I was rather surprised to find myself treating some of the people I knew at school and their families over the next 37 years. I learnt more and more of the ramifications of the old Belper families, even right up until the time I retired. I was finding out more and more connections with people. Vicariously through my work, I learnt a great deal about all the factories where people used to work and other businesses. When I started working, there were many businesses in Belper. By the time I finished, it was virtually a dormitory town. At school, my interest in history was enhanced by the excellent teacher, Mr. Bonsall, here at Strutt's. I wasn't particularly interested in local history at the time, and in fact all what we now regard as World Heritage sites of huge importance, like the mill, great chunks of it had disappeared, and neither I nor nobody I knew really took much notice of it. I regret that now, of course. Gradually I became interested in wider fields of history than I had been originally. I was a member of lots of different organisations, but took no active part in most of them really. And it was difficult to get to many of them because of my work. However, I did become a footpath secretary for the Amber Valley group of the Ramblers Association, so I got to see a lot of the countryside, which I love, of course. In fact, since I became footpath secretary, I haven't walked much outside of Amber Valley. When I lead walks, though, I'm not just interested in countryside as such, but I like to point out to people places of interest that are easily missed, historical and of other interest as well. Some of them appreciate it, the others are too polite to say. After I retired, I began to have more time to take part to actually visit places and take advantage of what was on offer. Several things happened. The Environment Agency started a pilot group. The main objective was to improve the water quality of the Ecclesbourne River, but they're also interested in enhancing their contacts with local people and schools, and wanted to make the whole exercise of great educational value. They thought that creating a waymarked footpath along the route of the Ecclesbourne from Duffield to Wirksworth would help in this, so they got on to the Ramblers, and so I got involved with them. And I've become more and more involved with this route, and just today we evolved into the Friends of the Ecclesbourne Valley, so we've done a lot of work already, and we're now a real formed group. Very fortuitously, about the same time, the World Heritage Site obtained a grant from the Heritage Lottery Fund. I'd got involved with the World Heritage Site about 3 years before. As a rambler and somebody interested in history, I offered to lead some walks around Belper, and my offer was taken up, and I got more involved with the workings of the heritage site, but only really right on the periphery. Volunteers were offered training of various sorts because of the Heritage Lottery Fund, and I've taken full advantage of it. I've enjoyed trips both to Shropshire and along the Derwent Valley, along with everybody else. We enjoyed it a great deal, but we also learnt a lot about the sites and how we might present it to other people. We also learned a bit about how not to present it, so it should improve how we do things as well. We've been sent to more formal training as well, all over the place, Nottingham, Belper, Leicester. We've learned how to use digital photographs, what to do, how to how to record people, as we are doing now, how to use video, how to use archives, and I've been to an archive conservation course, in fact, which was excellent. What resources are available. For instance, I didn't know that in Leicester there was an archive of local television newsreel. We put in Belper and there were 73 items from about 1955 or so. I'm a member of Belper Historical Society, and I offered to give them a talk on a subject that I didn't really know anything about. I know the footpaths in Belper, but I've offered to tell them about the history of the footpaths in Belper, the channels and so on, which actually nobody knows very much about, but there is waiting a great deal of stuff to be found out, and together with Brian Deere and other colleagues who started to make investigations. Anyway, we've got about 11 months to pull all of this together. All the training that we've had has opened our eyes to what's available and what we can do. For instance, I've learned that it's actually comparatively easy to apply for quite large grants, and what's more, the bodies offering the grants do help you in your presentations with them. So what I've learned has increased my interest widely in a great number of things. I've met many people who have got wide interests that overlap with my own, and also show me new things altogether. I become a lot more ambitious in what I can do. So the Friends of the Ecclesbourne Way are applying to Natural England for a 75% grant of £25,000 to produce the Ecclesbourne Way with improvements up to Allport height, together with the National Trust Corporation, but with a comprehensive series of interpretation boards. We've noticed these interpretation boards along the course of the River Derwent. Not only are they excellent in themselves, but I've become aware that visitors are becoming a lot more knowledgeable about what we have to offer in this area. I see many tourists who come here now, and both tourists and local people know an awful lot more than they used to, and I'm sure these boards play their help, as long as the information that they're offered by volunteers or other ways. So we hope to be, not only as a volunteer here with the World Heritage Site, but as the Friends of the Ecclesbourne Way and as a rambler, and as a trainee guard on the Steeple Grange Light Railway, we hope to enhance and draw into the area many more tourists than there would be. Both internal tourists, people who live around here, never really look around at what they've got, and external tourists. There's so much to see. People will realise, I can't do all of this in one day, they'll come back, as long as we treat them properly. May sound cynical, but we've got to make the most of them and for the resources that we're given. It's a challenge to replace all the industries that we've lost in the Derwent Valley, and tourism is an excellent way of helping, at least partly, to replace what has been lost by way of job opportunities in our area.
Thank you very much.